What's up, everybody? It's Jamel Gibbs. Welcome to this week's Real Talk RoundTable discussion. I'm excited. This is our first episode of the Real Talk RoundTable. I got my buddy Brandon Barnes on the line. We're waiting for Jay Malloy, and we're gonna have a good time today. We're gonna talk about what it's like to be an entrepreneur and balance that family life as well. Many of you watching this right now are aspiring real estate investors, or you're in the business and you're grinding, and you know what it's like to be grinding away in your business, but have to put that family time aside as well. So we want to talk about this stuff. You know, it's going to be a real discussion. You know, we're real estate investors, and we want to keep it real on this discussion. Talk about, you know, some of the pros and cons of what it's like to be an entrepreneur and a family man, or a family woman at the same time. So we're going to talk about all of this stuff over the next hour. We're trying to make this a weekly thing. We're considering setting up a separate channel for this. That's something that we'll definitely be discussing based off of the response that you guys give us as well. But let us know what you think. Leave a comment. Let us know. Engage with us in the comment section. Let us know what it's like for you to be an entrepreneur as well. I see Jay here. I'm going to bring him on. Give me a second. Hey. Mr. Malloy, Dr. Leeds, what's up, baby?
What it is, fellas. What it is, man. How y'all doing?
We chilling, man. We just getting started here.
Join us, bro.
What you say?
Glad you could join us.
Hey, man, you know how it is. Be out here in these streets sometimes. You got to dip in.
Yeah, man. So, Brandon, man, what you got, brother?
Man, look, I appreciate you having me. I appreciate you letting us kind of use this YouTube channel, because I know you've been doing this thing for a minute, and you have an amazing audience. I see a lot of the engagement when I look at your videos, and people are active in the comments. So everybody that's on this YouTube right now, shout out to you guys for being here and showing up. And I'm just excited to get some value. You know, I'm not gonna put these guys out there too much, but I'm the young guy in the crew. So I'm excited, get in where I fit in, and you know, but just like Jamel, I must be crazy because I got like 4 or 5 kids on the way. So you know, I'm dealing with that work-life balance, which I know is one of the things that we can be discussing today. So
yeah, for sure.
Excited to bring my my viewpoint and you know, share with you guys.
For sure. I want to give a shout out real quick to Carla Moss Johnson. She's from Florida. She just joined us, and we got the Greek God as well on the line. So, you know, it's going to take a couple minutes for the audience to join us. But while we're doing that, did you want to share anything in particular?
Nah, let me let's pass it off to Jay for a little bit of an introduction. I know I didn't really give a formal introduction, but at least, you know, just introducing, you know, what we have planned and what we have in store for today and going forward. What you think, Jay?
Hey, man. About? Listen, I'm excited that, you know, listen, we were on what was it, Clubhouse for a while, and we had a bunch of folks come in. We met a bunch of people. We were able to deliver, you know, little tidbits here and there to help people go to the next step. But I think we just got a bigger platform, and I think that the facts that people will see us and see how we interact and be able to watch this at their leisure. This is just something I'm excited about, because I know we was delivering them goods daily. And so now we just get to do it in a way that people can consume it at their own pace and pleasure.
Shout out to ML. He said this is about to be great. Yes, this is definitely about to be great. I'm gonna tell you that, man, because we have a lot of fun, and we're gonna try to be on for about an hour or so. Let us know in the comment section. You know, we got Jess Ham. She just joined. She said she's in the building right now. Perfect perspective to share with us. Absolutely.
Beautiful.
Well, look,
so listen, let us know. You know, what concept you guys, you know, what would you guys like to see in the future, you know, from the three of us? This is something that we're trying to do on a weekly basis, you know, and we want to keep it, you know, obviously we're all entrepreneurs. It doesn't necessarily have to be niched down to real estate only. If you just want to hear, you know, what life is like just being an entrepreneur, we could talk about anything that you guys want to talk about. But we kind of want to open it up, broaden it out a little bit, broaden out the perspective in order to be able to really reach the ins and outs of what we experience in our lives. It doesn't even have to be anything related to business, you know. So this is about having a real discussion amongst three guys who have real businesses and just looking to be able to share, you know, what it's like to live as an entrepreneur, you know. So I see Miami Dre, my man Dre just jumped on. What's going on? We got Nicole from Florida. We have I'm about to chop your name up. Ivanda from Atlanta. We got Jess.
Hey.
We got people jumping on the line. So Brandon, what you had in store for us today, brother?
Man, look, I was just about to you know, remind people now that, you know, from Clubhouse to YouTube, the dope part about it is that now when Jamel starts flexing on us, y'all can actually see muscles, right? So now I'm gonna probably be a little bit more hesitant to come at him sideways because we
That's funny,
always
man.
get beat up out here. But I really want to really shout out the folks that have come from Clubhouse to hear us because we had some great conversations, amazing discussions. We were doing it dang near every day, you know, for a while, and then we went down to 3 days a week. But I think that time, that hour, was a little bit challenging, and so we really just shifted here so that you guys can catch more of the content. That's
Right.
what I'm so excited about, because you'll be able to catch the replay, you'll be able to see it, hear it. That was the one thing about Clubhouse that I didn't like, is that, you know, you either heard it live or it was gone. And so all those great conversations that we had, you know, I missed that daily interaction, but redoing it in this way and then having the recording of it is going to be amazing, because we had some really, really good conversations about, you know, a lot of different things. And so that's why Real Talk Roundtable will be expanding from, instead of just Q&A about, you know, starter level real estate wholesale deals, we'll be able to expand into other topics as well, such as fatherhood, work-life balance, and entrepreneurship. So, you know, I know Jay just popped out, and I think he was doing some technical.
Yeah.
There he goes.
Yeah, man.
And he's the master, you know, the master reader probably amongst us. I see. So you got that library back there, man.
Yeah.
It's looking real dope.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, this book's all over this house, tell you the truth. So I miss. Go ahead.
I'm the master listener, man.
I hear you. I hear you. I hear you, man.
Lazy.
Nah, man. It's different muscles, but
yeah, for sure.
Look, my library looks like that. I can't vouch for every book that's up there as if I read it, but you know, I got an Amazon habit, bro. I don't know if that's something that you with in your lives as well. I like it.
First name basis with the Amazon dude.
That click to purchase option.
Oh.
And then they went down. Remember when it was like, you know, 2-day delivery? They done gone down to 1 day, same day. 2 hours is at your door.
Go pick it up.
Hey, I don't know about y'all, man, but my wife receives at least 5 to 10 packages every day, man. Dude, it's crazy.
It's crazy, man.
Now, flip side of that is gotten me really interested in, and we had, like I said, all the great discussions that we had on Clubhouse. I forgot who it was specifically that introduced us and talked and broke down the numbers that he was doing in his in his Amazon delivery truck.
It's Q.
It's Q. Yeah, we got to get Q on here.
That was mind blowing, and he really talked about the fact that he rode the wave. He got in with the game plan of scaling and adding on like a few trucks at a time, over the months, over the years. But the pandemic forced him to ride that wave so quickly that he like doubled, triple, quadrupled the amount of trucks in his fleet, like over the summer, like last summer. And now, Russ, what do you say?
He got 85 or something like that.
He got 85. Yeah.
He about to hit $10 million his first year doing this, man.
So wow. So that's a reminder for you guys, like, to continue to consume different types of information, and then don't pigeonhole yourself to, for instance, I was just a real estate dude for the longest, and now being able to hear that Clubhouse actually gave me a chance to hear a bunch of different entrepreneurs live, not recorded, right? And coming off the cuff like we're doing here right now, and talk about some different types of things. And you I think you combine that with still being, well read, listening to current events, understanding what's happening in the economy, and then taking action on those opportunities. You know what I mean? And I think that's exactly what happened with him. I mean, he must have been like, look, now with the pandemic, more people are shopping online.
Yep.
So how do they get those packages? Delivery trucks.
Yeah, I'm gonna get Q on I'm gonna definitely get him on a podcast. I already know it.
Yeah, you got to.
I'm gonna get him on that. Yeah, but that's kind of what I'm looking to do on the channel. Really, man, just opening up the perspective a little bit, because I understand, like, I have a real estate channel, but I want to open people's minds up because I don't only do real estate. I have multiple businesses. Y'all already know that, right? Multiple streams of income is where it's at. And my next venture is, I don't know if I shared this with y'all, but my next venture is within the next 5 to 7 years, I want to own 5,000 apartments. Right. So that's kind of where I'm venturing off into at this.
For apartment complexes, huh?
Yeah. So I'm going to start, I think I'm looking for a 100-unit apartment complex to start with right now. They are hard to find. I'm not gonna sit here and act like they're a dime a dozen. The good deals are definitely hard to find. But in the meantime, I'm gonna start documenting what I'm doing in that regard. You know what I mean? What am I doing every single day? A couple weeks ago, I did a Driving for Dollars apartment edition video that I posted up on my channel. But I want to start documenting everything that I'm doing to reach the 5,000 apartments. So I think that's going to be a crazy journey that I'm going to take the audience on. But at the same time, let's kind of shift it a little bit, right? Let's talk about some of the things that we face as entrepreneurs. How much time is looking for 5,000 apartments going to take away from my family? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know,
right?
Because I'm notorious for delegating everything, right? Y'all know this.
Yeah, for real.
You know what I mean? I'm notorious for not doing. I'm the king and doing nothing.
Let me ask you, I think you probably are. You have the best perspective or a great perspective for this, Jamel. Like, I'm still at that point. Y'all know I'm turning 33 September. In September, and I'm still on the come up of establishing for my family, the primary, the next house, the house that we're gonna fit this fifth
forever house.
Right.
Like, I'm still on the hunt. I'm still on the grind, and I'm telling my kids along the way, hey, I'm going to, I really got to hustle. I got to dig in, especially over this next summer, over this next year, as I just transitioned from a partnership last year, cut it off into February, and then the pandemic hit, so I was completely in rebuild mode. And I keep telling them, like, hey, we're gonna have a little bit more time, once I kind of get this thing fully up and going how I want it, and we're generating the revenue that I want on a regular basis, I'll be able to take more time, more off days, more daddy son days, or maybe squeeze my schedule in from working 5 days a week to something like you guys doing. Like, I know Jamel talked about working 3 days a week. I don't know.
3 days a week, man. That's it.
Yeah, and I'm telling them, like, I'm gonna get to that, but y'all, like, kids, y'all have to understand, like, I got to do this right here, right now.
It's rough, man.
Yeah, kids aren't gonna understand that, man. Kids want you, period.
Right.
Like, they want you.
Did you balance that? For either of you, did you balance that situation when you were in grind mode, or did you just grind and say, hey, sorry kids, like, coming soon?
That's a great question, man.
It is. It really is.
One thing real quick, Brandon, Jess just gave some good advice. She said, is there a way for you to turn up your mic a little bit?
Oh,
Oh, I can see the
This
comments
is-
now. I
this
didn't
is-
realize the comments was over there.
Yeah.
Oh,
This is real time, y'all. So this is all.
Can you guys hear it now? Is that a little louder?
oh,
That's perfect.
you
That's
sounding
perfect.
like
That sounds
late
to
night
y'all.
My
host.
bad. Hey, this is episode 1.
Hey, listen, man, you
I
giving
didn't even
them
see
that
those comments. Oh wow.
the velvet
Yeah,
vocal
what's up.
cords.
Yeah. So I mean, we could.
Hey,
we
wait,
can
hey,
read the
let me-
comments right here.
Tell me this. Can you hear this?
Oh yeah, we in here. We in here.
All right, so we in the building. All right, fine,
All
we
right.
good. All right,
Yeah, we in here.
All
But yeah,
right.
that's a great question, man. You know, for me, I think, you know, and I don't want to jump ahead of anybody, but for me, when I first started my business, we didn't have kids, so it was just me and my wife, right? And she totally understood. She had my back the whole time. So 6 years in, we got married and then had our first daughter. I was already building my businesses at that point. You know, I was, 2002, 2006. She was already, we're talking 4 years into business already, where I was already established at that point. As we had more and more kids, though, it was difficult to, I think it kind of forced me to really. I think it forced me into a position where I had to learn how to delegate quick, because I needed to spend time with my family. So at one point, I remember, just not sleeping at nighttime just so I could operate my businesses and spend time with my kids during the day. Or if they were if they're in school, I had to take that time I had to sacrifice something. So there's 4 things that I live by. Putting God first. I live by family and health and fitness, and obviously finances is my least concern. But I had to sacrifice some of me going to the gym, working out, doing things like that, my health and fitness for a little while to be able to give that time to my family. So it was hard for me it took time for me to be able to balance all 4 until I finally found that balance. And the way I found that balance was being able to delegate more. So that's how I built up the 450 virtual assistant team. That's how I started multiple businesses, just being able to delegate, right? I never sacrifice the relationship that I built with God every day. Never sacrifice that. And I never sacrifice family time. Finances, that was something that was necessary at the time. At this point, I don't even like finances is my least concern in my life. We have plenty.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I'm not there yet.
Yeah,
like
that's
low key after family, God.
It's still a thing.
Is up
It's
there,
still
bro.
a
I'm
thing.
still trying to stack,
Still a
right?
thing.
Yeah, I get it.
So I'm continuing to tell them. And then for me, there's a wholesale business, but then there's also content, coaching.
Yeah.
Like that. I added a whole extra 2-3 businesses in the last year, and so it's just really. I keep telling them like, hey, as grind this out right now. We will get to the point where, hey, then we've purchased that next, the dream home that we want. Right. And I'll be able to slow down. But until then, I'm hustling it up.
Well, B, this is what I think, man. B, this is what I think, right? Because your kids are only kids once, right?
Right.
They're only kids once. They are, what are the ages of your kids?
8, 5,
4. So
almost 3.
So you're still all of their world right now. You and Vanessa are
2 months from dropping.
Right. So you got an album release party coming, right? So but what I found, and I don't have as many children as you guys do, but what I found was, and I think I can speak to this because my daughter didn't live with me for a while, right? The thing that I found is that she just needed consistency. She needed to know what to expect from me.
That's right.
So she needed to know. There was a time I was seeing my daughter once a week, and it was Wednesday after school, from Wednesday to whatever, from 5 or 6 when I picked her up till 8:30 or whatever. But she knew she could set her watch. It's Wednesday. I'm gonna see Dad, and we're gonna do something fun and blah blah blah. right? So it's not necessarily all the time that you gotta be ever present, but if they know what to expect from you, these kids, man, they'll be over the moon, because now you're going to get all the things they want to talk to you about. You're going to be wanting them to shut up. Like, yo, dude, take a breath. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, on Tuesday, one of them gets X. On Thursday, you see what I'm saying? Like, as long as they know what to expect from you and they could set their watch from it, and your wife knows, or their mothers know, and anybody that's listening that was in a situation like me where you're not necessarily with your child's, significant, the other parent. Mm-hmm. The key to it all is consistency.
Got one of those too.
Yeah, well, the key is consistent. I think, matter of fact, Brandon, that was the conversation we had when you were telling me about that situation. Yo, listen, I don't care what you can do, but find it and do it all the time so that they know what to expect. And then it grows from there. And I think if you can find that little part, that'll help you out a little bit.
And I think one of the things that both of y'all kind of you alluded to, and Jamel, you mentioned, it's having the discipline to work when you have that time to work. So carving out that time, like Jamel, I'm not crazy, man. Like you working overnight type stuff. That's like my homie Daryl Patterson. Jay, Daryl, he was the type of dude to be up all night. I need my sleep. But the discipline to get myself up in the morning and bang out those hours, like put all the other BS aside and really bang that out, then I can carve out that time to do so, when they're available, when they're home, and then really give them that time. So I think to that point, I just need to turn it back around on me and have that discipline. And I'm sure there's there's people in the audience that's listening that are going through that too. I think we've done a good job within our business or at least I've done a good job of setting the expectation with my team that during their working hours, exactly what to do, is document it. You have these check boxes you need to check and you need to be doing the work, but I got to turn that around for myself and be a little bit more focused, time blocked out, so that I can balance that life aspect better.
Think about it like this, bro. So you just mentioned the most important word of the whole conversation is discipline, right? So I want to lose. Right now, I'm in the midst of I'm on a cut diet, right? I hired this guy on YouTube. His name is I'm gonna give him a shout out because he's pretty
bro.
good.
You already won, dog.
Yeah, but but even me, me,
dog. I saw you in that picture with Sawan the other day. I was like, yo, Jamel is like 3 of him right now, bro.
No, but even me, like I'm an experienced bodybuilder, right?
Right.
I still hire people to help me it's not even for the information. It's not, I have all the information, but sometimes you need accountability, and you have accountability, you receive the discipline from that as well. Same thing with real estate, right? So I know pretty much, I've done a couple 1,000 deals up to this point. I know everything there is to know. I've bought apartments over the years. Guess what? I still buy apartment information, right? Yeah. I just bought a course yesterday for $1,000 just to refresh my memory on certain things.
That 3,500 REI Revive. You seen that, Jay?
Yeah, I did see it. I see
about it. But the whole point is we continually reinvest. I buy masterminds every year, $25,000 masterminds. Mm-hmm. Do I need them? Probably not. But yes, I do need them because it holds me accountable.
That's real.
Right?
That's real.
So when it comes to being a family man and an entrepreneur and balancing that life, for me, at the end of the day, man, it's all about, it really all starts with discipline, man. You got to eat the right amount of macros. I gotta force myself to work out when I don't feel like it.
I can't bust down the diet like to that granularity.
I gotta feed these things, man. You know what I mean?
Them things is eating.
But the point is, man, we gotta.
Sawan in a headlock is over. Wait, did y'all link up? It was an event or something?
Yeah, he was holding like a little. It was like a real estate meetup. And it was like 10 minutes from my house, man. It was at this golf course, so I just I popped up, show my face.
Was it a good event?
It was cool, man. He had about 20 people there or so.
Okay.
And
what's up.
you know,
Gotta
I
start
was
somewhere.
it might lead.
Hey, look, all he had to do was say, "Hey, Jamel Gibbs is gonna be here. Jamel Gibbs is gonna be here." He would have flooded that thing.
You know what was funny, man? As soon as I walked in, this guy was like, "Oh, that's Jamel right there." I don't like
You don't want the
Starstruck.
starstruck.
He definitely should have used that because, and I'll tell you guys that for anybody that's out there, and I talked to Tom Kroll about he was considering doing some stuff for his Coaching Inc. program.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted different people to do different modules. And one of the module that I was going to do is how to leverage a local meetup to start your coaching business.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about my meetup, REI Live, is it that way? There you go. Atlanta is it was all about the speakers. It was about who I could get to come out and show up and give value. Like, what are going to be some big names? So definitely, I would tell someone that if he was here right now, is use your network, leverage your network, and especially having you up there and you right there, that would definitely attract some good people.
Yeah, I learned all the tricks of the trade, man. It's been what was it? What were we in 2021? It's been at least 15 years I've been in the education space, man. So that's an important point, man. So like I built, you mentioned something earlier where you said, no, that was my fault. That was my bad.
I was ready to say, I got bumped.
You mentioned something earlier, man, where you said, you started adding in your coaching business and you started adding because you want to help people, right? Exactly. We don't want to keep all the information for ourselves. Exactly. Like me, I started a YouTube channel in 2008, but really I started taking it serious about a year and a half ago. Right, I put over 200 videos. I had 60 videos my first 10 years up. I started taking it serious. I put 200 out last year. Right,
God,
because you just hit that 10K mark, right? 10K.
Well, I'm about
12 or 13, right?
That's about to hit 14 now. We're about to hit 14.
Get them
next couple of weeks, but we hit 10K probably a month and a half, about 6, maybe 2 months ago.
You hit it right after I was on there.
Yeah,
right. I told you it's all about who you have.
Yeah, man. My point in bringing that up, though, you mentioned building multiple businesses at the same time. I lived that life, man. I did multiple things. I was building a real estate business. I was building an education platform. I made money before I actually built my education platform. So it took me about 6 years of doing real estate before I started educating. And then I started adding in the YouTube stuff and all of this other stuff that I got going on, right? It happened over time. It didn't happen at one time. But each time I had to grind my way into doing it. I'm having fun with the YouTube thing now because I love it, man. I love helping. I love shooting these videos. I love helping people. I try to put multiple videos out every week, but it's still a grind, right? There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. People don't see it on the camera. It's still a grind, right? I got to put in the time and the effort.
Jamel, but Jamel, I'm trying.
Marketing is a beast. I mean, for coaching, education in general. What were we gonna say, Jay?
Yeah, no, I said so. I'm trying to get into Jamel's laissez-faire life of doing less, right? Because you know me, Brandon. I will do everything. I've done everything, and just now
to
a fault because I believe I can do anything. I'm talented, right? But hanging out with you guys, like Jamel's got me hiring people to write for me. I got my master's degree.
Literally begging you to get an acquisition manager
for 2 years, and I finally did. Right, things changed. But Jamel, I was like, damn, I'm not getting nobody to write nothing for me. I got a master's degree in English. Like, what am I doing? And then I finally
Brian Tripp.
No. Well, I handed it off though. And I was like, oh. This is all right. I could deliver the hell out of this. And so same thing. And I'm learning those things. The grind changes, right? So now I'll learn something and I understand the principles of it. And my first question is, who can I get to do it for me?
That's it, man. That's been my question. You know who taught me that? I'm gonna give him it's my man David Oswald, man. I learned so I was doing everything. He's from Jersey too. I learned everything. I was doing everything at one point up until around 2008, 2009. I was doing everything. I was the guy who, how they show that picture with the guy wearing all the hats. I was the guy trying to do this and that and this and that. Everything you could think about in business, I was doing it. And I watched this guy. I met Dave at he invited me down to one of his real estate events to speak. And I literally watched him like send somebody off to get his dry cleaning. I watched somebody, he sent somebody off to do this for him. And I picked that up right away. And I said, I gotta fix this whole situation.
That's
as
awesome.
soon as I did that, I made more money the next year than I've ever made in my life. And then consistently every year since then, I've been doing better. You know what I mean? So the trick is delegation, man.
Yeah,
accountability
it is.
and delegation. Accountability and delegation, man. At the end
For
of
sure,
and
but that big D word, that big discipline, because for me, there are certain things that you're still creating, right? You're still, you got to kick it off and document to delegate. And my favorite way about going about doing that is not like creating SOPs where I'm typing something up. It's actually living it and either allowing them to be along for the ride. Either we're doing this together, we're on Skype, or 2016 we was on Skype, or like, but now we're on Zoom. We're on Zoom. Like, shout out to Nicole, my admin. Like, she would just be on with me, and I would show her how to do this. And I hope you're taking good notes. And then eventually she would create the document to support what she was doing, right? But I'm still at that point where I'm still carving out that lane because it's still being built, right? But you've given me, I think, incredible advice on this, which was, I need to look inside, be more disciplined, and then make sure that, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing within the hours that I'm supposed to be doing it, instead of tricking off time on other silly stuff.
Yeah. Cyrus,
you need to stop playing.
Yeah,
that's
man.
it. That's what Cyrus that does.
He just gave the key point in the I'm looking at the comments here. He said efficient, repeatable processes lead to easy delegation. How true is that, man?
That's so true.
That's the whole deal.
I mean, that's the key, man.
So my cheat code now. Here's my cheat code now, right? So Brandon, I used to try to do everything, right? Like I said, and then I tried to teach everybody to do everything. Now I'm just straight up saying, all right, who already does this?
Yep. I don't have to figure it out.
Right. Like I literally just started negotiations to offload the execution club, and I'm giving up almost 40% of the store, except for the fact that now I can put more people into it. And as a fact, I can serve more people, and I'll make less per person, but I'll serve more people. Yeah. And the people that I'm going to have actually delivering a lot of the service, they're better at it than I am.
That's the key though, right there. You just said it, man. I think most entrepreneurs, people, and Carla asked this question. She said, can we talk a little bit about the art of delegation, right? Which is important, right? So think about it like this. I think most entrepreneurs have the mentality of, I want to go in and keep all the money.
That's where I started.
somebody who grows a real business and really have that time, because, let's face it, we're all in this business for time and freedom. That's it. That's all we really want, right? And the nice things come along with it when we have the time and freedom, right? So I think that at the end of the day,
for the most part, let me at least give a little bit of shout out to that small select few that either want to change the world, give back. You know what I mean? Sure. Like there is that select few, and because one of those folks might be listening right now. Like, I'm
still can't get there without time and freedom. You still can't get there without the time and the freedom.
Very
right?
True. Very true. Right? Very true.
So, just to kind of pinpoint on what Carla was asking, I think most of us, when we come into business, and I was guilty of this at first as well. I didn't understand delegation. So I was like, okay, I get to make 90% and I could pay somebody else 10%. I wasn't thinking like that, right? I think if you flip that around and you say, look, I get to keep 20% but not do anything and pay out 80% and continue to grow the team, and I'm going to make more than if I kept the 90% in the first place. That's where the art of delegation comes
and
from.
I have my time, and
I have
my hairline.
20%. Look, I still got my hairline.
It's going one way or another.
Listen,
I got my dad cul-de-sacs.
I'm holding on, baby.
But look, I'm not going out like some of these other dudes. Look, Meek Mill me up. I'm gonna get that ghost line. I'm not, you're never gonna see me drip like shit running down. You're never gonna see that. Me and Meek Mill, shout out Meek Mills. He keep it real.
Oh my
authentic,
God.
100. You know where the line's supposed to be.
Hey, listen, we all right. That's all I got.
I think some of that is hereditary, man. But that's the key point to delegating. I think that's the art to it. Just understanding that if you take less profit, pay out more to the team growth, and ultimately, you're taking less to do less, but you're gonna make way more by not doing anything.
Man.
You're almost removing yourself from the business, but making way more money.
Yeah. If I'm being
less profit,
Jamel, if I'm being transparent, I think what one of my biggest problems was you figure out like everything's a gamble. Everything's a gamble when you haven't done it before. In your mind, it's a gamble. Like, wait a minute, I'm making whatever 10 grand off of this. And what if it doesn't work and I gave somebody 80 and I only keep 2,000? I'm gonna feel crazy, right? But then you start realizing if you're doing the things that work consistently, right, you can do more of them.
So Lavonda just asked that. She said, when would you suggest we start delegating in our business? That's the perfect segue from what you just said, Jay.
Yeah.
I think before you jump on that, and I want, because I was going to say this a second ago, the shift that we made, bro, when I went, so I started talking to Brent Daniels prior to him releasing TTP. So this was in 2016, early 2017. Yeah. I brought on a team of cold callers May 2017, and I was the AM, maybe getting out a few leads a week, a few offers a week, trying to drive to every appointment. Over Thanksgiving break that in 2017, I went on and did an audition, and I brought in the top 2 acquisition managers that weren't that great. One was trying to hustle up some other stuff. I ended up having to let her go. And the other one, she was good on the phone, but I couldn't teach her how to analyze the numbers and do the deals.
Okay.
Even with that 2017, we did like $250,000, so about 250. Next year, 1.1. It was
because
like that.
It
was like that, bro. It was like literally, as soon as I put somebody in that seat, we're getting out 20, 30, 40, 50 offers a week. And we started to do deal after deal after deal. Average deal size was about, I run the numbers, probably 13K, 65 or so deals. The next year, we did a similar mark, but it was less deal flow. It was like 50 to 55, but we increased average deal size to like 18K.
Yeah.
And it was just immediate, bro. Like as soon as I put AMs in that seat. But to answer your question, and I'll let you go, Jay. But it's when you start to, everybody wants to hold on and and they're afraid to make that first switch to bring in an acquisition manager. The question that was asked is like, when do you delegate? There's different levels to that, because I think you should be delegating your, outgoing marketing, email, etc., to an administrative assistant. But the biggest delegation point is bringing in that acquisitions manager, and nobody ever feels like they're ready, but you still have to take that leap. You still have to take that leap.
I got Justin, man. That's when I had to train Justin to be able to do it, and he understands it, But I think, just to answer Lavonda's point, her question, I think as soon as you get that first deal, you need to start thinking about how can you rinse and repeat and teach that to somebody else. The best way to teach let me explain why I started creating home study.
Wait, don't let Jay forget what he was about to say.
Yeah, for sure.
I forgot. Let's go.
You forgot?
Bruh.
I'm old, man. You see these grades, bro. I'm older than y'all, man.
So think about it like this, man. Hey, Jay, you only got me by a couple years, man.
Don't tell people that. Don't tell people that.
But
that's why Jamel cut it all out. Yeah, fuck that pot. Cut it all out. Yeah, fuck that pot.
But this is why I started creating home study courses, right? Originally, I started creating them because I wanted to train a team. And then as I'm training the team, I'm like, oh, this is good information.
OG. Vet in the game.
That's actually pretty good.
1,000
right?
people he dealt with over these years. It's insane.
I'm giving them the information. I'm like, hold on a second. This is valuable information right here. This is making me money. Let me see if. And then around that time, I had a realtor who wanted to get into flipping houses, and she said, I will buy that book from you. And I sold the book, for like $50 or something like that. And I said, hold on a second, I can make $50 selling his book. What if I sold 1,000 of them? And then I kind of it kind of spun off into this whole thing, man.
That's why I'm writing that thing.
It was basically my game plan for my team. As I was
your operation manual. Yeah.
That's all it was, man. And it was amazing.
What year was this? This was like in the 90s or something.
The 90s, damn. Oh, my nephew asked me if I was born in the 1900s last week. I was like, yo.
This is it. Now I'm only 40, bro.
I was like, actually, I was.
He putting 20 extra years on me, man.
What? No, it was probably by the time I graduated high school, huh?
Nah, it was 2006.
What year did you graduate?
2006.
Oh yeah, I already made my first million by 2006.
2006.
You had already made your what?
I made my first million by 2006, man.
Yo, bro, I graduated high school in 96.
Wow. I graduated in 99, man.
This is a few years.
But check it out, Brandon. Carla wants to know, can you speak more on starting local meetups for coaching?
Yeah, for sure. Let me though just try to give a little bit of, I wanted to really answer that question for Lavonda a little bit further. I suggest, especially if you're going to be doing everything in your business, I suggest that you get an administrative assistant as soon as possible. Like if you're going to do everything and you're going to lead gen, you're going to, call, close, you get that admin as soon as you do maybe a deal or two, because they're going to keep your marketing going. And as you hire other people, they're going to be able to support that person as they come in, so you don't have to handhold as much. If you are doing this part-time, you may want to get somebody to do your lead generation. So maybe you get a caller or somebody to do your text messaging so you can close when you get off of work. But then as far as that acquisition manager delegation point goes, I say as soon as you have enough money to pay them for 3 to 6 months, and you are willing to give them a little bit of a draw, maybe $1,000 plus some commission, $500 per deal closed, then if you have enough for 3 to 6 months of that payment, go on and pull the trigger. And you have some leads already in the database, pull that trigger as soon as possible. And just knowing that you will be able to, support them, with a little bit of a draw, $1,000, $1,500 a month plus a little commission for 3 to 6 months. You have that in the bank, pull that trigger, take that leap of faith, because they are going to bring you money and free up your time. So I just want to hit that because I think that's one of the most important things. Like I literally went from a few $100,000 to 7 figures overnight by putting an acquisition manager in that was only focused on talking to leads, sending offers, and following up. Once you have that person that's in there consistent, it's time to make money. But the question about local meetup.
Yeah, the local meetup. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, it's there's somebody I could put you in touch with. I got lucky. I kind of fell into it. Our buddy Brian Tripp came into the city.
Brian and he wanted to had the same business model too, by the way, man. I could talk about it if you want.
What the wholesale?
Yeah, we had the same. We wanted this. We had the same. We had the same business colleagues, and we basically copied the same exact business structure to be able to run local. I had a very successful local coaching program here until I stopped a couple years ago. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I want you to dig into that, but I'll just say this. For me, it was a little bit of luck, right place, right time. I was there to support my guy. I went to the first meeting, to the second meeting, and then he decided to the other guy that was going to host it decided to not host anymore. And so I jumped in, filled in, and then just focused on bringing, high value to the audience. And so for me, that was leveraging my network, reaching out to people, getting a fire guest, running some, doing some flyers, running it up, get everybody excited to have that person come speak. And then at the point of the event, get in there and try to, warm up things. One thing that I would suggest is that you try to share what your business looks like in the beginning of every meeting before you bring the speaker up. You're there just to warm them up, but talk a little about what you do. If you have somebody that you've worked with as like a coach, bring them up as a testimonial, share what they're doing, and then introduce your speaker and get out of there. That's it. Super simple, super easy. But the other stuff around, like how to check people in and manage all that stuff, if you want to, if you have any more questions on that, you can hit me up. I'll share what I want. I might still put that together. I don't think Tom is doing Coaching Inc. anymore, but I might still put something together just to share with folks, how that process went. But how did you have that?
Yeah, I couldn't read the comments.
Jay just put on the Malcolm.
You put on the Malcolm.
I couldn't read the comments, so I had the same thing. I was squinting and looking off. Like, no, let me go ahead and stop acting like I ain't. Man, I went to the eye doctor last week. Sidebar, right? Went to the eye doctor last week. I'm there. I got my glasses on. She's telling me to read. I'm like, listen, it's not as crisp as it was last year, right? She's like, how old are you? I'm like, 43. She goes, oh, yeah, 42. That's where it starts. I'm like, starts what? And she said, every year. I was like, no. I said, how are we going to reverse this? I was like, can I get some carrots? I said, can I get a beta carotene or something? What's going on here? She was like, you can get LASIK. So I was like, oh, man. So now they got me with these, they made me order these glasses with the progressive
half
joint.
up, half down.
I'm like, yo, I told her I'm not wearing them until I'm 45. I'm like, I'm not wearing those till I'm 45.
Jamel, get ready, bro.
Nah, I don't think I have to worry about that.
I think he's got good eyesight. I don't think he's wearing contacts
tonight.
Yeah, 2020, I see clearly, man.
You and my wife, man. I can't stand him.
We're gonna have orange on this plate every night now. Like, I'm getting ready.
All right. So I didn't mean to sidebar that.
Yeah, we got some good questions that came in too. If y'all want.
Yeah.
So I got a question from where was it? Kenneth. He said, can we tell him how to get private money? He have a creative deal on a 30-unit apartment building. The owner wants $300,000.
But he would take
20% down and 15%.
Where is this?
Hey, if you want to wholesale that deal to me, Kenneth,
I'm like, shoot, between the three of us, we'll buy it.
I'll pay you $350 for it right
Gibbs, now. At IMV Barnes, at Dr. Lee. Just put us all in that. I'll figure it out.
Private money,
I'll pay you $50,000 for it right now, man. I'll take it.
Hey, we're gonna pull this money together real quick.
Where is that?
Yeah, I need more information. But ultimately, in order to find private money, I mean, it just depends on who you have in your circle at the end of the day. But you guys want to touch on that?
Yeah, I mean, there's a book over there that it's called, what is it? Getting the Money, right? But here's the shorthand version of it, and here's how I did it to start, right? Mm-hmm. I tapped into my network. You got the money in your phone, whether you think you do, you don't. Yep. You got it in your phone, right? So first thing I did was I called people and I asked them, hey, what are you doing with your 401k? What are you doing with your savings? Blah 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 blah. Right? They would tell me. Yeah, I did. That's how I bought my second place, right? And so I raised probably, I don't know, it was cheap. The first one was like maybe 35K raised, something like that, maybe 40 grand, right? I got about 40 grand and I gave folks 12% interest, 18 months, right? We bought the house. It got us into the hard money loan, right? So how
many people?
What'd you say?
How many people did you involve in that deal?
Three. Yeah, I think one gave me 25. The other two gave me the other 20. And so what I did was I used that money to get the hard money loan, right? So it pays for the points. It pays for all the upfront fees for hard money. Got in there. We fixed it. And then refinanced it, paid everybody back their money. Cash flow kept going.
Yep, that's how you do it.
Didn't spend a dime. Matter of fact, I lent money to somebody the same way. Somebody wanted to do the same thing. I lent it, but then I went Jamel and went strong arm and took a 50% equity piece of the whole deal.
Hey, that's and rightfully so, man. But Kenneth, I'm interested. You said, key word there for me is creative deal. Mm-hmm. So if the seller is willing to take 20% down, if he's truly creative, will he finance that 20% for a period of time for a higher interest rate? So he'll finance the first portion for a certain interest rate, then finance the second portion for maybe 12 months. You get in there, you cash flow a little bit. I don't know your current situation, but try to refi within 12 months for more money. If you could raise the rents, that's how you raise your rents $100 to $200 per unit. You're going to increase the value of that building immediately. Then what you do is you turn around and refinance, pull the cash out, pay the seller off, and now you just have the one loan. Or you could keep the seller in the deal. You know what I mean?
Right there.
Thank you, Jess. No, yeah, man. So that's what I would do. Or you can wholesale it right over to me. I'll gladly take over that deal. I just need more information on it in order to be able to really move.
He meant wholesale it to us.
Yeah, hey, we could do this. We could put up 100 a piece, man, and call it a day.
Man.
Yup, let's go.
Just Ham. That was for 100. You.
Jay, you got your 100?
This is not hard to find it, man. This is not hard. I'll just either sell one of these deals that I got in Knoxville, Tennessee for 25 grand. I got a couple there, and they hot. Like I get rid of them in a second.
Yeah. And look, I know we're gonna get into a lot more specifics on real estate and investing, and I definitely love the questions, but I am curious. Is there anything else?
What are examples?
Somebody telling you to ingest some beta carotene.
Yeah, that's why I said
they're trying to get you right, bro.
Hey, like I said, thank you, Jess.
Oh,
thank you, Jess.
Jamel is over there sneakily like.
Yeah, he mainlining it. He probably got an IV.
Thank you, Jess. Hey, what are some examples of you'll name the business if you wanted to sell houses, Airbnb, or do rentals? I mean, you could pretty much. I named my business after the street that I grew up on in Brooklyn, and that's the name of my business until today. So you could kind of
Mill Street, right?
Mill Street Properties. I grew up on Mill Street, so but I don't take properties down under Mill Street Properties. I take them under trusts, right? So watch this video I just put out. It's called it's an LLC video I put out last week. If you look at it on my channel, I think it's something about LLCs and rentals or something like that. I can't remember the name of it at the top, but towards the end of that video, I discuss how to do it with the trust. Don't focus so much on the name of the business. That's not what's going to make you money. The action part is what's going to make you the money.
Have you done a deal yet? Life as
Quinn,
and you can answer that in a second. Because like I said, I wanted to make sure that we were hitting up or really rounding out kind of the work-life balance, piece of the equation. Because I know we're going to get into a point. We're going to get to all of the real estate questions and Q&A. Might even have it like set it up where that's a specific portion of the schedule. But is there any other thoughts, ideas about what you guys have now? I know I asked early on, how you handle work-life balance when you were in grind mode, where I find myself at right now. But at this point, what does that look like for you guys? Are you, aside from work-life balance, even specifically also to your marriage and relationship? I want to hear about that as well.
Yeah. Jay, you want to go or you want me to go first?
Yeah, I'll go. I mean, my life, Brandon, I'm not so far removed from grind mode, right? Which I hate. When I look at it from time to time, I'm like, man, I'm 43 years old, but I didn't get started till I was 30, 35, 36. So, it was a little different. Actually, I think it was like 34, 35, whatever. So work life is like, mind you, my daughter's 16 now. So hanging out with me is not like her primary thing right now. Right.
Got a maid, man.
Yeah. And here's a piece of advice, just so you know it. Your kids, they're going to detach from you to a certain degree. They have to, right? They have to. Only thing is, as dads, we don't know it until after it already happened. So I'm not going to sit here and lie.
A lot of sense.
I was in my feelings for like 2 years over this. Like she turned 12.
When did it happen?
Then her friends started being more important. And then I went from daddy to dad. And then I went to, like, hey, can you take me here and drop me off and bounce? Like when it went to that, like this was my little homie. Nice. Like, yeah, this is like, this is my homie, ride my back, whole deal. And then now it just changed totally. And for me, that was sort of like a depressing thing. No, it hurt. Like, I'm not going to sit here and act
especially that's baby girl too.
Yeah, I'm not going to act like it didn't. And I don't think most guys talk about this stuff, but it did. and it affected me deeply and I didn't even know what the problem was. And I didn't realize it until like I was like, wait a minute, I got more time on my hands. Like, oh, I got things that I like. Oh, and it wasn't until I realized, oh, I got some more life for me. And I started working out again. I started saying, oh, I actually like to read and learn things and try new stuff and develop stuff from scratch and combine this business with this business and create a new thing and a new system. Like, it wasn't until I realized that was like a hobby for me that I realized like, oh, you're not even working. You're just doing things that interest you anymore now. And so it was when I was able to tie all of that stuff in and realize my relationship had changed. It had its place. That helped me a lot. Now, as far as my wife, now we around here acting like we was before we got married. Like, you know, hey, where you want to go? What you want to do?
You ain't jumping around like Ving Rhames and Baby Boys.
No. Actually, you know, I ain't gonna lie, man. I know this is a family friendly channel, so I will just say the bathrobe is optional.
Hey, man, you know, that was some good stuff, Jay. For me, man, you know,
very helpful, bro.
I think my schedule that I have now, I mean, I work Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, right? And I probably do a half a day on Thursday. Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. Tuesday, I'm off. Friday, I'm off. Saturday, I'm off. Sunday, I'm off. 4 days. I work 3 days a week, and that's done by design because I have a family. And then, you know, I think we do so much together as a family every single week that I'm trying to see how I could free up even more of my time. You know what I mean? To not have to worry about, you know, again, man, I delegate pretty much everything, but you can't delegate being a father. You can.
Yeah, right. And I was about to ask about, you know, what about the time for you and for yourself? But I know for you, a lot of that is in the gym.
I work out. I think you know, I work out every morning, so that's kind of
get your time.
You'll be doing 2 a day. Stop lying.
I'm actually about to do a second workout today, man. As soon as I got a coaching call right after this, with my coaching, my group coaching mastermind. But after that, I'm gonna hit another workout tonight.
Enjoy. I'm gonna be at that Hawks game though.
Oh, you going?
Get it? Yeah, man. It was all right. Let me tell you this. My silly stuff.
Right on the side of this wall is my gym, and I got my TV in there. I watch the game and everything, man, while I'm working out. So I'll be all right.
I'm gonna be down there throwing shade at no, honestly. So
wait a minute, B. You remember we went to that daggone playoff game in Utah and we were sitting at the top of the rafters, like there was not a seat behind us.
I said that's about the last time I do that mess.
I never did. Oh,
my homie suckered me into saying they was like, oh yeah, it's mezzanine. Like the first one I went to a while ago, because I seen it in the 200s, and then I'm used to like, you know, 100s, 200s, 3s, and we got there. It was at the top of the top. But then I got tickets for lower bowl, and I specifically got them in the double letters. I thought I was going to be in the Players Club, but they cut it off due to COVID or whatever, where you can actually see them walking past, dap them up, everything. But I got these tickets, $1,500 for 2 tickets total for me and my wife. But that was what I wanted. I wanted to make sure that we had really good seats. And, you know, my dad would say that I'm crazy. He's a CPA. And my wife would be like, you know, $1,500.
You get to write it off, though.
But I was like, hey, this, you know, I do this for a reason. I want us to enjoy, you know, live life, mo life. But turns out I'm walking down, as soon as we enter, I'm walking down and I see DeVal from Kadeen and DeVal Dead Ass Podcast, who me and Vanessa went to see them and do a live podcast. And I was like, what up, bro? And then I kept going, I sit down and I turn around and I see Marquell Russell, who's marketing. You know, y'all know him, right? And I was like, what's up? And we end up texting or a DMing. We might do some content together. And then I went and got something to drink, came back to the seat and turned around, and DeVal is sitting literally right next to my wife, right behind my wife. And I'm like, oh, what up, bro? I was like, Vanessa, did you say something? No, I didn't even say anything. I'm like, Vanessa, if you don't, I was like, bro, she wanted to say hi, didn't even realize that, you know, she's so scary. But we ended up chopping it up, having a good conversation. You know, may even link up, you know, here soon. Because he wants to plug in with some more entrepreneurs. We're gonna be talking with my buddy Justin Phillips from Support Black Colleges and some other stuff. So we got some
Jamel, you're supposed to reach out to that dude.
Yeah, I gotta reach out to him.
I'm gonna make that connection. I'm gonna text you guys today. But after that, she was like, I see what you mean, babe. Like, you know, you spend the money in certain situations to be around, you know, a different, you know, types of
sounded just like her just
access. But like that just allows you, but you got to take advantage of those opportunities. And when you're in a place where you have an opportunity to network and meet, be intentional, open your mouth. You know, I'm probably going to end up doing content with Marquel.
That's the beautiful part about masterminds and meetups, man. That's why you go.
There's definitely an importance to that as well.
Again, that's another thing that Brandon was getting at me about, right? Like, I'm in the cave, man. Like, I do what I do and I'm cool doing it. Yeah. And Brandon's like, yo, Jay, hop on with us, yo. Hop on. I'm like, yo, come on, man. Nobody want to hear nothing I got to say. And then I hop on and I learn stuff and I have fun. And it's new friends. Jamel's introduced me to people. Brandon's introduced me to people. We're doing all types of stuff together. There's more to come. I mean, it's a beautiful thing.
I almost had to twist his arm, Jamel, to get him on Clubhouse with me.
He did.
Oh man,
just get an iPhone, man.
Bro, I know.
I was like,
bro, had like 10 invites in his inbox.
It was like, yo, you got it. Just go get an iPhone, man. I'm like, yo, all right, man. All right.
So listen, fellas, man. You know, this has been our introduction to what we're trying to build here with the Real Talk Roundtable. Obviously, you know, this is kind of raw, uncut, off the cuff. I want to get some feedback from the audience just to kind of see what topics they would like for us to talk about in the future. Keeping in mind, it could be in regards to anything. Doesn't necessarily need to be about business in general. Obviously, we want to possibly even do some Q&As. If you do, you know, we could have a specific segments for Q&As with, you know, business and real estate and things like that as well. But what are some of the topics that you guys want us to talk about? In addition to that, how can our listeners get in contact with you all in order to, you know, follow you?
You guys see our full names?
No, we can't see it.
I don't think so.
Yeah. How about this? Let's delete our names and just put it our IG handles right down there.
That'll work.
I don't know where to go back.
Yeah, so Brandon,
advanced options.
Brandon's at I Am Barnes. What I'll do is I'll share it in the description box of this video.
How did you change your name, bro?
Brandon, you see your face in the lower left? There's three dots on it.
3 dots on the top. Yeah.
Bang bang. Thank you.
He said like I created, like I was a wizard over it. How'd you do that? Like, come on, bro. I pressed 3 dots.
We got jokes today. Hey, this is gonna be a fun little conversation ongoing, man.
I want to see us come back every week.
Because look, hey, and I'm gonna put it out there. We've been talking about doing this for about a month and a half now.
It's been 2 real months.
All right, does this time work?
Because we was on Clubhouse every day at one point, y'all.
All right, we're getting a little break,
and we needed a break from Clubhouse. I think Clubhouse is honestly it's
a good idea.
It was a good idea, but I don't know if it's gonna be
timing. Its timing was perfect for when it came out and how it grew.
No, it was definitely a good pandemic distraction almost. Like it was like, you know, we was already in the house, like, bro, I'm just getting here and talk all day. Like
what do y'all think about, like, where do y'all see Clubhouse going now? Honestly,
I don't know.
Dog, I ain't been on there since the last time we were on here.
It's same, in the past, bro. I know it's back in the rear view, dog. I'm cool off that. Somebody asked about virtual RIAs. Let me just put that out there. REI Live ATL. If you go there right now, mine is virtual from now until after this baby drop. So probably November, December.
Drop, like it's an album,
after the baby drop, I'm going back to in person. Vanessa, no, I'm, you know, look, she be at the door. I need her. I can't do this without her.
Yeah, Nessa's that deal, yo.
After baby come,
man. She gonna hurt you, bro. Listen, check out Brandon at I Am Barnes, IMB Barnes. Check out Jay at Dr. Leeds, and you can check me out at Jamel Gibbs, obviously. But if you're
Janelle Joyner, when you go there, click on my bio, you'll see a link for REI Live, the virtual meetup every third Thursday.
Yeah, listen, for those of you that have been talking about this discipline and this accountability thing, listen, man, find me, holler at me about this execution club, and we got you, man. We'll get you right, man.
He's the real deal.
Make it happen, man.
I got students that are getting real success. Some of my coaching students have gone to Jay, and he's pushed them to actually take action where I couldn't. So
man.
Appreciate you.
Don't let the pretty face fool you. I will get in that hind part
and get that out all the way. He was like, oh.
Yeah, my wife told me that. Maybe she lied, but I'm all right with that.
But also, I'm gonna say this too. Don't play with him. He's a bad man. That lead pro is like I added an extra cold caller to my team. Lead pro is bringing me another 15 leads per week. Yeah. So appreciate you. Y'all definitely click the link, bang the link in Dr. Lee's bio. I'm sure you got some stuff there, but it's a link to it there.
Man, listen.
Better have a link.
You want to there's a link there for Lead Pro. But right now, if you want to talk to me, just DM me.
What's my discount code for putting that out there? No,
your discount code actually it's put Brandon at the end of the link, and you good.
Hey, at the end of the day, these are my brothers. Obviously, you can see through the chemistry that we have. That we have a lot of fun together.
We're just getting started, y'all.
We just getting started. Y'all want to see us every week? Let us know in the comment section. If y'all want to see us every week, and we'll be on at least one day a week.
At least.
And as the audience continues to engage, we'll possibly add more. But for now, one day a week. Also, let us know what y'all want us to talk about. Whether it's business, whether it's life, anything. Doesn't necessarily. I think this is going to be a good time because we had the real estate happy hour on Clubhouse going. This is a good time to kind of wind down from business as well. But just let us know what y'all want to see. 30 to 60 minutes a week. We'll probably be on for about 60 minutes based off of.
I'm thinking about maybe next week having a little link that they can go give us a little survey or something, a little feedback.
Yeah, a little survey or something like that.
And listen, y'all. Like, yes, we all real estate is our common bond. But we know there's some real situations out there, right? We know people are living real life. Like everything ain't all good in my life all the time. Brandon could tell you the same thing. I'm sure Jamel will say the third. So if there's some real topics that you wish somebody would just talk about, you gotta let us know because we'll dive into it. Like we go in.
Exactly. How can I start in my city? This is from Wesley. Wesley, I think the best way to get started, honestly, is just to have a goal.
Often imitated, never duplicated.
Say that again. Often imitated.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Try, but I ain't saying.
Yeah.
I'm just teasing.
Well, I think the best thing for Wesley is education is definitely the key. Once you get educated, you just gotta take the action, man. You can't be afraid to step in muddy waters,
right? And I guess I didn't know if you was talking about getting some type of meetup or conversation like this, getting wholesaling or real estate investing started in your city. But look, do this. DM one of us, all of us, however you want. I got a game to get to in a little bit.
Let's do it, man.
It's been real, guys. You think back Wednesday? Are we just gonna? How about this? Let's same time next week. Let's just come back same time next week potentially, and then
what's today? Monday. Today's Monday.
Folks, if this is the best time,
Monday at 5:30.
Yeah, it's fine.
Monday at 5:30. Let's make it happen, man.
And tell your friends about us.
Right.
And tell your friends to tell their friends.
And their friends. And to bring some friends.
We're gonna send the link out, man. Y'all are dope. I appreciate y'all.
Subscribe to the channel. Also let us know if obviously y'all, this is something that we're going to be doing every week. I'm looking forward to it. Let us know what questions you might have. If you're watching this, after the fact, leave a comment in the comment section. Letting us know what are some topics that you want us to discuss as well. Make sure you follow the fellas, and we'll see y'all next week.
That's right. Peace.